What is going on, boys? Quick video talking about statics for top funnel and middle funnel because I had this misconception back in the day that statics were only good for bottom of funnel and they were only good for like sales ads, bottom funnel ads, but it's just not true. And I'm slowly starting to learn that and apply that, and it is generally working. So that's kind of what I'm informing you guys about, so you don't have to wait a long time to figure this shit out. But yeah, statics can be just as effective as video ads if your landing page takes the customer throughout the rest of the awareness funnel. So if you are creating a static that is pretty much just talking about, let's say, just the problem, like it doesn't talk about your brand, it doesn't talk about your product, there's no sale, there's no shop now, it's just purely diving into the problem or educating the customer or just giving them some form of curiosity on the topic that is related to your product and the problem that you're solving. If you can accurately grab that curiosity and get people to want to read more and go to your page, that is like all you're trying to do. Okay. Your static ad is not going to just sell them. The main thing that you want to drive is curiosity and just kind of like, what's the word? Well, the only thing you're selling is selling them on what's next. Okay. The same way when you watch, let's say you're watching a TV show, okay, and you're on episode 6 of fucking Attack on Titan back in like 2014 or 2015, whenever it was released. You're on episode 6. You just finished episode 6. Okay, you're left on this crazy cliffhanger, and you're like, fuck, I have to figure out what happens next. Okay, and now you can't. Now, like, you know that feeling you get? You're like, fuck, I want to watch the next episode, but it's not out, and I have to wait a week, and you kind of like feel like shit, right? That's kind of the same thing that you're trying to do with these static ads. Is like, you want to drive curiosity, kind of get them really intrigued about the topic, really curious about what's going on, have them read through your static, whatever, see what's going on, and then have them be curious enough to click through what's next, right? That's all you're trying to do. Then from there, what this is going to accomplish is you're going to go to a landing page, so an LP, right? Now this could be an advertorial or a listicle, right? Now, listicles, my personal, like based on what I've seen, like I know you can use listicles for like higher in the funnel and stuff if you position a certain way, but generally speaking, listicles are more for like, I guess like middle funnel down, right? Like it's not so much top funnel, like the unaware, problem aware type of uh, awareness stages. Like it's more for sophistication, diversifying yourself with other products, and like kind of just like selling points on the product. You can also, I also have listicles that do well that dive into the problem as well, but I feel like advertorials are better for that. You know what I mean? So you can use either or, but let's say, like in this case, if I'm doing like a top funnel type of static, I would redirect to like an advertorial. If I was doing like a middle funnel type of static, more like testimonial based, or like they kind of understand the solutions or maybe even the product, then I'd send to a listicle. But anyways, let's say they go to an advertorial. Right now, this advertorial is just an extension of what they saw, right? So extension slash it's congruent, right? So congruence from static, right? If they click on this ad and they're curious and whatnot or whatever, and you're talking about dogs, okay? You're talking about dogs, your problem solves is specifically for dogs, right? As an animal, specifically dogs. And they go to your advertorial, and now there's it's a headline for cats. It's not going to hit the same. It's not going to perform the same because you're talking about dogs and you're intriguing about dogs. Your advertorial should be talking about dogs. It might be a pet, it might be an animal, and you might think it's the same, but it's not, okay? Unless you have some generic product, but people are going to be like, it could be used for dogs and cats. Like, it's not specific for my dog and stuff. Like, it might not be the best option. But if you can talk about here, let's say, is your dog, like if you guys saw the previous bootcamp videos, I know I mentioned or I showed Pet Labco. So let's say it says something like your dog is uh, fucking eating grass, okay? And your static ad is literally a photo of, let's say this is a dog. Say this is your dog, and he's just fucking eating the grass, right? Okay, and then there's a fucking arrow here. It says Jonathan, all right, pointing at the dog. This is Jonathan, and he's just eating grass. And you have a text that says "Look familiar," and then have like a thing, like a danger sign saying like, be careful, right? Or some shit. And then people are going to look at this and be like, yo, Jonathan just eating grass. What the fuck? What's wrong with eating grass? They might just get curious and be like, holy shit, I should click on the page. Now, they see Jonathan eating the fucking grass. They click on the page. And now they see a headline that says, why your pussy cat might not make it to all 9 lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like fucking grass might be the reason why your cat might not make it to 9 lives. Some shit, okay? It's not the same. Whereas, imagine if you have a static ad and you redirect to here and be like, the hidden discovery that saved Jonathan's life. The hidden discovery, unexpected discovery that saved Jonathan's. Some shit like that. They're going to see this, right? They're going to see this headline, and they're going to see like, holy shit, this was Jonathan eating grass. Holy shit, he was going to die? What the fuck? They're going to come here, and they're going to be like, bro, damn, Jonathan's life is saved. Let me keep reading. Let me just figure out what's going on, right? And like, let's say the image is like a picture of like Jonathan all happy and smiling and shit, okay? Or maybe it's a picture of Jonathan in the fucking ER room. You know what I'm saying? Like Jonathan almost lost it, right? And they're just gonna be thinking like, yo, the fuck, that's from grass? And then they're gonna keep reading, and then after that, you kind of like the headline sells, like the subtitle sells the next piece of copy, then section 1 sells section 2, section 3, section 2 sells section 3, and you kind of go down this funnel, right? But the whole point is what you're accomplishing with the static, and I know I kind of went on like some random ass tangent, but what you're selling with the static is getting them here, okay? And this will not be effective if there is no congruence. So congruence is incredibly important, and this is why you're gonna have to make lots and lots of landing pages and kind of test them out, or at least that's what I like to do. Or if you have a specific problem, there's so many ways that you can target a specific problem and then have like a somewhat generic advertorial, if that makes sense. And then if you have like a winning ad, you can make a more congruent, a more specific advertorial that goes even deeper into that specific static to kind of like juice that static out. But anyways, that's getting a little bit off topic. The whole point here is that it is possible to fucking create these type of statics, okay? And yeah, anyways, here, I'm just going to show you 2 examples real quick of some kind of ads that like kind of accomplish this in a way, right? Like if you look here, this ad inherently is not some, buy one, get one free, here's the benefits, here's my product, Black Friday sales, get 75% off, shop now. Like that's not it's not a bottom of funnel type of ad, okay? These people are just getting educated. These guys are just learning more, right? And this ad accomplishes that. So like, did you know? Beef eaters has 100,000 times more vitamin B12 than spinach. This is like kind of like a weird claim, right? So then it's just like, what the fuck, right? This is kind of what get people curious, right? What the fuck are you talking about? And then they'll talk about all these benefits. We don't have to eat it like our ancestors did. Click to learn more about Primal Queen, right? The image aligns with this right here. We don't have to eat it because people will see this and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? How the fuck does this have this? And then they'll read this and it kind of answers that question. Like, oh, you don't actually have to eat it, right? And the image is like all the people eating meats back in the day, and it's like, oh, that's gross, I don't want to do that. But then they'll be like, yo, we don't have to do that. So they'll be like, oh, really? Damn. And then they'll press, they'll click on the ad, learn more, and then they'll go to the page and they'll get educated on it. That's what this static is accomplishing. It doesn't even show the product, right? It's not said, they might not even know what the product is yet, right? All they need to know is that this gives this, and then you don't have to eat it like this. So therefore, you should learn more on the next page, and then that page takes them throughout the rest of the funnel. Okay. Another one. This one has the product, right? But don't let age steal your sleep, right? I actually haven't like reviewed these statics. I just saw it and I put it up. So don't let age steal your sleep. I guess it's just going on the concept, like maybe their avatar is like experiencing insomnia, or like they're like an inability to sleep. That might be like a big pain point for them. And then it could say like, or it might just tackle into like the concept of like beauty sleep or some shit, or just overall poor sleep quality, right? Or it could be diving into like the idea of like, oh, when you were younger, you slept so perfectly fine, and now you're older and you can't sleep for your life. You just have shit sleep, right? So then it just goes into like, here are natural before and supplements that improve sleep quality for the elderly, right? This, you could even make it, you can even take it a step further back, right? This doesn't even have to show the product. Like this is technically still like obviously it's saying here like, yo, this product might help or improve sleep quality for older people. You could literally have like some kind of intriguing CTA, right? Like discover some I'm not gonna think of a headline at the top of my mind, but like something around beef organs or some shit to get them curious. Kind of redesign this ad a little bit, but like the whole point is like this ad, you don't see a percent off, okay? You don't see a BOGO offer, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like not a huge product, like huge product right in the middle of the static, like right here. You're also not seeing like just like a list of benefits right beside, right? Because like a lot of times bottom funnel ads will literally be like, all right, here's your product. Okay, let's say this is your product, the star. This will be your bottom funnel static ad. So this will be star. Okay, so benefit one, benefit two, benefit three, and then some like headline, right? And then the headline could just be like, and then like 5 stars. You know, like some super simple shit like this, and the headline could be like a Black Friday sale, or maybe it's just like a something a bit more like not as much of a sale, right? Or maybe there's like a sale badge. You know what I'm saying? Like you understand what I'm trying to say. Like these are more bottom of funnel ads or people that like kind of know about the product and stuff like that, but like you can make ads like these, and maybe I could have found like better examples, but I feel like I have explained here at least what you can do. But you can pretty much make ads where people might not even know your product. You can literally make unaware static ads if your advertorials are good enough and they could still convert. Is it a lot harder than a video ad? Of course it is. But especially problemware, you can make a lot of problem-aware statics that will do really, really well paired with a good advertorial. But again, if you don't have a good advertorial and you don't have good copy, then there's no point. But anyways, this entire video, was not to teach you how to make these ads, right? Because this is purely based off research, and like this is stuff that you're gonna have to use your own intuition for. This is not something that I can just like feed you some like basic template or things to look at. Like these are things that you're gonna have to come up with on your own. Ideally, like ideation batches and shit like that. So it's mainly just to give you food for thought and different ways to actually look at how you might be able to develop your funnel, right? If you don't want to just sit there and rip videos because that's what everybody else is doing, okay, deviate from that. Go learn how to market. Go learn how to actually create proper in-depth advertorials. Go learn how to make static ads that can create that level of curiosity, get them to the advertorial, get them to your product page, and then they buy, right? Not a lot of people can do that. And because not a lot of people can do that, that's where you can come in. That's where you can do that. Okay. So anyways, this video isn't too long, but yeah, hopefully you guys kind of understand this concept. Maybe it opens up your eyes a little bit on static ads. Peace.